This envelope changed everything. My mother slid it across the linen tablecloth, her diamond ring catching the light. My sister leaned in, phone ready, pretending it was a moment worth remembering. The restaurant fell quiet. Even the string quartet hesitated mid-note. Inside that envelope wasn't money or a card. It was a disowned letter signed by all of them. My graduation present. I folded it once, twice, and stood up. No words. No scene. Just silence and the weight of paper in my hand. They thought they'd written my ending. They didn't realize they just started their own. Growing up, I learned early that love in our house came with performance metrics. My father measured worth in return on investment. My mother measured it in appearances. My sister Claire was the perfect blend of both. At dinner parties, I was always introduced last. Claire's thriving at her firm in New York. My mother would beam, her hand resting proudly on her shoulder. Then, almost apologetically, she'd add, "And this is Emma. She's still studying." That same polite smile every time, as if I were a late project waiting for approval. Guests would nod, glance at me briefly, then return to their champagne. I learned to smile back quietly, predictably. Our dining room always smelled of cedar polish and expectation. The chandelier scattered fractured light across my glass. Tiny broken halos that never settled. My father discussed markets and mergers while my mother rehearsed gratitude to donors who mistook vanity for virtue. Claire thrived there. She knew when to laugh softly, when to tilt her head just enough to look engaged. I studied her like a formula, each gesture earning approval. Meanwhile, I worked nights at a cafe near campus. The espresso machine hissed louder than any conversation at home. There, no one cared about last names or legacies. They just wanted their orders right and their names spelled correctly. I liked that. It was measurable, clean, honest. One Sunday after a long shift, I came home to find Claire at the counter, my father pouring wine. "We were just talking about you," he said, swirling his glass. "Claire thinks you're wasting your time behind that counter." Claire smiled faintly. "It's not wasting, Dad. It's character building." Her tone was light but sharp. I laughed softly. "I'm funding my tuition," I said. My father shrugged. "Degrees don't pay bills, Emma. Numbers do. Remember that." That night, I stopped trying to join their conversations. I started watching instead, collecting data in silence. Still, I hoped things might change. When I earned a national scholarship, I sent them the email, the press clipping. My mother replied hours later. "So proud of you, sweetheart. We have a gala tonight. Can we post about it tomorrow?" They never did. That was the day I learned attention in our family was currency, and I was always the unpaid intern. 2 days before graduation, a message popped up in the family group chat. A reservation link. Maison Lumière. Pre-graduation dinner for Emma. Dress appropriately. No emoji. No warmth. Just control. When I clicked the link, my name wasn't even on the guest list. The Bennett family, Charles, Diane, Claire. That omission wasn't a mistake. It was a statement. Claire texted me privately. "Don't overthink it. It's just formatting." Formatting. That word echoed. That was how they saw me, something that could be deleted. That night, I sat at my desk, city lights flickering like static. My inbox glowed with messages from investors, professors, peers. Achievements stacked in neat lines. None of it mattered when the people who taught you your worth still measured you in silence. I scrolled through old photos, holidays, galas, my mother's perfect smile, my father's staged confidence, Claire's effortless charm, and me always half lit, half seen. The next morning, an email from my university arrived. Confirmation of my commencement speech and an award nomination. My mentor, Dr. Alvarez, wrote, "This is your moment, Emma. Own it quietly." Quietly. That word grounded me. My life wasn't chaotic, it was structured. Just not by them anymore. I smiled, the kind of smile you wear when proof is already collected. The night before the dinner, rain hammered the windows. I brewed coffee, the smell cutting through the storm. My fingers moved across the keyboard, filing every document, every award letter. Each record was a quiet act of rebellion. I stopped explaining myself long ago. Explanations are for people who want to be understood. Records are for people who want to be remembered. What started as a small research assignment had evolved into something real, a data platform that helped small logistics companies optimize routes. I called it FlowPath. My classmates Ethan and Maya helped with analytics and interface. The barista with an MBA had built something that actually worked. One morning before sunrise, I ran a simulation that cut fuel costs by 12%. Proof. Tangible, measurable proof. At the university's startup symposium, Flowpath stole the spotlight. After my demo, applause rippled through the crowd. Among them was Nathan Cole, CEO of Northbridge Logistics. "You've built something scalable," he said. "And fair." Fair, a word I hadn't heard in years. After 3 meetings, he slid a folder across the table. Northbridge wanted to acquire Flowpath for $6.2 million plus a director role for me post-graduation. I didn't celebrate. I documented every clause, every transfer, every timestamp. When the final confirmation arrived, I printed the letter. The sound of the printer was cleaner than applause. That night, I reopened the family chat for the first time in months. My mother had just posted a photo of Claire at some gala. Proud doesn't begin to cover it. I typed one line. Dinner confirmed. I'll be there. The next evening, I dressed in quiet precision. Clean blazer, tied hair, neutral tones. The kind of look that doesn't beg to be seen but demands to be remembered. The streets of Chicago glimmered from the rain. My reflection in a passing cab looked calm. Someone I finally recognized. When I reached Maison Lumière, I saw them through the glass. My mother's silhouette, Claire adjusting her camera. They thought it was their stage. They had no idea the script was already rewritten. The hostess asked, "Bennett party?" I nodded. "They're expecting me." Inside smelled like truffle butter and expensive indifference. My mother waved as if this were a reunion, not an execution. "Emma, darling," she said, "we have something special for you." A server set a pristine envelope by my plate. My father cleared his throat. "It's time we all move forward." My mother smiled wider. "From all of us." Claire's camera hovered, recording everything that I opened. The envelope. Heavy paper. Embossed seal. "We, the undersigned, hereby release and relinquish all familial obligations and ties with Emma Bennett." Signed by each of them. My graduation gift. They watched, waiting for tears. But I'd already lived that scene. I folded the letter once, twice, and placed it beside my spoon. "Thank you," I said evenly. Claire blinked. "You're thanking us?" "For the closure." The air tightened. My father shifted. My mother's hand hovered above her wine. Claire lowered her phone. I reached into my bag and pulled out a gray folder. Inside, the Northbridge acquisition letter. My name printed in bold, Director of Data Operations. Silence. The quartet in the background shifted songs, unaware they were scoring a funeral. "This is yours," Claire whispered. "Yes." My father frowned. "You sold it." "I built it. Then I sold it." My mother's voice cracked. "We didn't know." "I know." I stood calm and deliberate. "You can keep the letter," I said, sliding their disownment papers back toward them. "I already have my own." Behind me, Claire said something. Maybe a plea, maybe a curse, but I didn't turn back. Outside, the air was cold and sharp, smelling of rain and freedom. I checked my phone. Notifications flooded in. Press releases, congratulatory messages. Proof, all time-stamped. The envelope in my hand felt lighter now. Just paper and ink. They had given me silence years ago. Tonight, I returned it perfected. When I got home, dawn had begun to stretch over the skyline. I set their letter next to my framed degree. 2 documents, 2 versions of my name, one they erased, one they couldn't. I made coffee slow and steady. I didn't reread their letter. It had already served its purpose.